morning, everybody. Welcome to Year 4 Maths. Hope you're well on this Thursday morning. We'll move straight into our starter this morning. So try and answer these in as close to 5 minutes as you possibly can. You've got triangles where you are doing the mental strategy questions and squares where you might need to try a written method. Okay, press pause when you are working and press play when you're ready to carry on. Okay, first question this morning, we're going to look at question A, 900 times 4. Again, we've been working on this. It's using and applying known multiplication facts. Okay, remember our strategy. If you've got magic zeros, cross them or cover them up. You've got 9 then times 4. 9 times 4 is 36. 9 fours are 36. Then you release your magic zeros and your answer then becomes 3,600. Okay, second question this morning, 78 plus 50. This one really is a place value question. The only digit that's going to change will be the tens digit. Okay, the units will stay the same, or the ones digit will stay the same. So if we count on two strategies, if we count on in tens from 78, we're going to count on 50. So it's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, which means our answer would be 128. Or we could partition it if we wanted to. So we could break 70 up into, or partition 78 up into 70 and 8. And then if I add my 50, so if I add my tens together, 70 plus 50 is 120. 8 plus 0, because there's nothing in the ones column, is 8. And then I recombine 120 plus 8 is 128. Either strategy works really well. It's whatever fits best for you. Okay, our third question this morning is going to be, we're looking at the question D, 4,329 plus 4,329. What do I notice there? Well, I notice straight away that it's a doubling question, but because they're quite big numbers, I might want to use column addition. I might want to use something that I know. So you're more than welcome to do that. So first up, if I would say 9 plus 9 is 18, and I would carry the 10 across into the tens column. 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 1 would be 5, 3 plus 3 would be 6, and 4 plus 4 would be 8. So you can get it straight away there, just by adding together using column. Or you could partition and double. Doubling is really cool here. So you've got there, we know we've got 4,320 and 9. You can see that I've laid those down there. And of course, I've got the same here. So double 4,000 is 8,000. Double 300 is 600. Double 20 is 40. And double 9 is 18. So if I then recombine all of those, I get 8,658. Either method is really quite okay to use. I quite like partitioning for this one in doubling, because I quite like it, quite enjoy a bit of doubling. So it's worth thinking about. Your choice though. And the last question, I've got a mystery number that if I divide it by 8, I get 496. Well, first of all, I think I'm going to need to rearrange the number sentence because I can't find what this is. So I'm going to then change the numbers around. I'm going to start with 496 and I'm going to divide it by the only other known fact that I have, which is 8. So I'm going to use bus stop. I need to be able to know my 8 times table, so that could be an issue. But 8 into 4 then goes 0. 8 into 49 then, because we have to carry that across, is 6. 6 8s are 48, so I have 1 left over. And then 8 into 16 are 2. So my answer then would be 62. I could partition and chunk if I wanted to. Here, I've actually tried to make it a little bit more efficient for a change. So I've said 480 divided by 8. I've partitioned the number into 480 and 16. 480 divided by 8, well, if I cover up my, or remove my 0 here, 48 divided by 8 then is going to be 60. And 16 divided by 2 is 8. And then if I, obviously I've got this the wrong way around, 16 divided by 8 is 2. Okay, so 60 and 2 would be 62. Remember, it doesn't matter which way round you do this. You can see then that 62 is the same in both places. Excuse my typing skills. And our learning intention this morning is being able to solve problems involving scale reading. Okay, so we're going to be looking at scales this morning, and it's measuring. We've got scales, we've got grams because we're dealing with weight, milliliters because we're also dealing with liquid, kilograms and litres. The in focus question this morning is showing us what ingredients we need to make something or to bake something. Okay. So in this case, we're going to be making a pumpkin bar recipe, and you can see at the top here, it says we have 1 cup of vegetable oil, 2 cups of flour, 4 eggs, and 15 ounces of pumpkin puree. Okay, so that's what we need to make our pumpkin bars. But at the bottom here, the young lady is saying, I'm going to use 12 eggs to make some pumpkin bars. And the question there says, how many flour, or how much flour and vegetable oil does she need? Okay, now we'll come back to this during the course of the lesson, but I think what's really important here is you need to think about the relationship there between 12 eggs and 4 eggs. The recipe says 4 eggs, okay, but she's using 12. So she's using 3 lots of eggs, 3 lots of the suggested amount of eggs. And I want you to think about that, okay, as we move through the lesson this morning, and we'll come back to it. Okay, so we looked at this morning, and it says, as we said just then, she's using 3 lots of the eggs. So in terms of flour, okay, the recipe said initially that she needed 2 cups of flour, 2 cups of flour. And 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of flour is 0.25 of a kilogram, or 250 grams. So for 4 eggs, she needed 0.25. So that would mean that if she had 8 eggs, that'd be double that, wouldn't it? Then we would have to double up the amount of flour that she needed. So that then would become 0.5 kilograms, or 500 grams. She doubled up the eggs, so she doubles up the flour. Now here though, she said, actually I want to use, that she's going to use 12 eggs. She's going to use 12 eggs. Well, if she uses 12 eggs, it will be 3 lots of the eggs. So we would do the same here. We would have 3 lots of the flour. So it would be 0.25 times 3, 250 grams times 3 would give us 0.75 of a kilogram, or 750 grams. How about the oil then? How much oil is needed? Well, for 4 eggs on the original recipe, she needed 0.25 of a litre, 250 millilitres. If she was to use 8 eggs, she'd be doubling the amount of eggs. So she would have to double the amount of oil, which would be half a litre, or 0.5 of a litre. But she said she wanted to use 12 eggs. So we said just now that she would have to have 3 times as many eggs. Well, if she has 3 times as many eggs, she will need 3 times the amount of oil. So here, 0.25 litres, okay, would be 3 lots of that would give us 0.75 litres, or 3/4 of a litre of oil, 750 mils. So it's pretty much, you can see that whatever you do to one thing, if you're timesing this by 3, you've got to do the same on this side. Otherwise, your recipe amounts would be out. It wouldn't be quite correct. This is quite important here, is that if we're talking about meters, okay, if we're talking about having 3/4 of a meter, it would be 0.75 meters. It's always worth remembering, okay, that 1 meter is 100 centimeters. 0.75 meters is 75 centimeters. Half a meter would be 0.5 meters, which would be 50 centimeters, and 1/4 of a meter would be 0.25 meters or 25 centimeters. Worth remembering. Question here, it says the man is 0.85 taller than his son. 0.85 meters taller than his son. What is his son's height? Well, the first thing I'd need to do to solve this question, of course, is look at how tall the man is. And then I would be able to count back or take away the 0.85 to find his son's height. So just press pause now and have a little think about it, and then let's come back together. So press pause now. Okay, the important thing first of all is to work out how tall the man is. Well, you can see here that he is 1.75 meters, okay, tall. He is 1 meter and 75 centimeters tall. Okay, you can see that there. What we needed to do is change that into centimeters, okay, because it's the easiest way of doing it. So 1.75 meters, that should be, is 175 centimeters. What we needed to do then is find out, we know he's 0.85 meters taller than his son, or 85 centimeters. And then what we need to do is take that away from the dad's height. And that leaves us with 90 centimeters. So the son is 90 centimeters tall, or 0.9 meters. Now, I do like this question, and I want you to have a little think about it. You've got it says here, a second box is 0.25 kilograms lighter than this box. And a third box is 0.5 kilograms heavier than this box. Find the total mass or weight of the 3 boxes. So, first of all, I want you to think about, what is the known fact you have here? What could you do here to help you with this question? Press pause now. I want you to really think about this. Look at what you're given. What do you think you need to do first? Press pause now. Okay, the first thing I'd be thinking about with this type of question is I need to actually work on the information that I am definitely given. So the one thing I do know, I can tell, or I can work it out by looking at the scales, is how heavy this box is. So weighing or measuring on the scales, I can see that this box is 3.75 kilograms, okay, which is the same as 3,750 grams. Now, it said the second box was 0.25 kilograms lighter. So I'd be thinking, okay, 0.25 kilograms, well, that's the same as 250 grams. So I would be working out what 3,750 take away 250 grams would be. And that means that my box 2 then would weigh 3.5 kilograms or 3,500 grams. But then it says the third box is 0.5 kilograms heavier than this box. Okay, so I'd be looking at my first box. I've got my second box. Now my third box, it says my third box is 0.5 kilograms or half a kilogram heavier than this box. So half a kilogram I know is going to be 0.5 or 500 grams. So if I'm going to find that and make that heavier, what do I need to do then? Well, I need to add on half a kilogram to the second box. So 0.5 kilograms would added on would be 4 kilograms. Half a kilogram is 500 grams. So if I added it on, I would get 4,000 grams. So this type of question, look at what you can see, use what you've got, and then the question will unravel and you'll be able to find your way in to answer it. Okay, our independent activity today is worksheet 12 on pages 88 and 89 of the workbook. Have a go. Look back at our video if you need to. If you need to go back and revisit, or you want to look at your book, your textbook, feel free to do so. Anything that you need to help you answer these questions. Press pause now while you're working. And press play when you're ready to move on to the plenary. Okay, last part of this lesson today, we are actually coming to the end of our unit. So a bit like we did with the others, we've got a little bit of self-checking here. Have a look through your learning, look at your workbook, have a look at these statements here, because they're saying that things that we might be able to know a little bit more about now. Like I say, look back at your work. Have you been able to do these? Can you do this? And can you see in your work where there might be something that you need to have a little bit more practice on when we come back to school? So have a little think about that. I'll see you tomorrow and we'll be ready to start a new unit. Okay? Goodbye, everybody. See you later.